All right. Out of frame guy. Hey, look at me with my newly showered appearance. All right. Oh, I have it. Yeah, that's right. I had an idea what I wanted to do. That is right. I'm gonna do a thing that I think a person on the Discord is doing, which is using the study Monday and repainting it, like repurposing. So it's a new subject, but using the same color and same idea of the reference. So I thought that's actually, that's how you should do studies. You should study something and then implement it to your own invention, so that you get you apply knowledge, right? So I thought, why not? Let's do that today. Hey, Bruno Romanos, how's it going? Hey, Zelin. Good morning. I was just talking about you. Yeah, so today I'll be looking at said reference, the study Monday of the week, and I will be painting something else based on the reference, based on the conditions of the reference. You do that, Zealin, don't you? You repurpose the studies. So you do a study Monday, and then based on the same colors and lighting, you do another. Yeah, it is you. You do from your imagination. So here I'll show you. You see, there's the study, and there's Zealin's interpretation or repurposing, which is good. Which I think is the way to do it. You study something and then you apply it to your own invention, so that you apply the knowledge that way. So that's what I'm going to do today as well. Hey, Rockimpo, how's it going? Hey, Kirill, good morning. How are you today, Kirill? Привет. All right, without further ado, let's start this mamma jamma. So I don't want to like fully copy one-to-one. Oh man, this light is just blowing all the values out the window. But let's try. Let's see what I can come up with. The general idea though is I want to have that purple, that warm purple, as the shadow. I think I will do a portrait as well, but a completely different one. Maybe let's make it, like an elf or something. And we're gonna try the same basic idea. But what I'm going to try to do is to streamline the process a lot more, because I don't need to make it exactly like the reference, which is a good thing, because I don't need to stay true to the likeness. Oh, Kirill, you got the job? Hey, Ubera, how's it going? Elven Archer? Yeah, something like that. So you got a job, Kirill. That's Fantastic. Congratulations. Where did you get it? Where's your base? Same old good Kiev. That's great. So it's you're gonna go in-house? I know that there is a pretty big player in Ukraine, right? That they wanna like strong arm themselves into the industry. I know that much. They are like they wanna do what people do internationally. Hey Torbod, that's sweet Twitch Prime. How's it going? As a senior 2D artist. That's great. That's great, man. Congratulations. It's really, really good. I love it when people get hired. Chase their dreams. Kirill, is this going to be your first full-time um, artist position, or you've worked in before? Sub hype. Yeah. Thank you very much, Tormund. It's very, very appreciated. Hey, dear bird, how's it going? Welcome. Glad that you could make it. Your fourth company. All right, that's cool. That's good. That's good. So you've been around. So as you got hired as a senior, which means you have the expertise, right? How, if you don't mind me asking, Kirill, how long were you without a job, and how hard was it? I think that would be a good a bit of knowledge for people to hear, like what you did to get hired. Was it difficult? I think that would be good, you know? Hey Miguel, how's it going? What up, my fellow IFCC instructor? Hey Gria. Well, at the moment, what's happening with Unreal Bjorn is that it's judging. It's a down period, and come Friday, in 2 days, I will announce who the winner of round 4 is, who the winner of round 4 comeback is, and then all the winners of round 4 in the primary bracket, they will have a break, while the comeback bracket will fight it out for the final, the finale, right? Who of the comeback bracket gets the finale spot, right? And then we're gonna have the finale. Kirill. Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. That's good. That's a pretty that's a mature thing to do, you know. You're not rushing for the job. You're picking and choosing. It's good. Oh, Lithuania. Nice. Hey, Weeping Jay, how's it going? What's up? Right, so what I'm gonna try to do here now is I really like that sky color, and I'm gonna reintroduce some of that brightness. I think. Oh, don't crash again, Photoshop. Oh, damn deviant, how's it going? This is getting really annoying. It crashed. Why is it doing that? It's so annoying. Fucking shit. Thank you, Dame Deviant, for those bits. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna kill Photoshop. I'm gonna start it again. So you did 3. That's pretty cool. That's great. That's great. So 4th one is a charm. One second, everyone. I just need to do some stuff so I don't show client stuff. Okay. There we go. It's your bits that crashed my Photoshop. Well, no, not really, but shitty situation. The only thing I can see why it does the things it does. Now I'm obviously not gonna have the layer control. But it might be memory, but it shouldn't be a memory. I don't know what it is. It's infuriating though. It happens occasionally, and it just takes the what's it called? The flow of things down instantly, you know. The whole like the flow of the situation destroyed. Black screen? Yeah, maybe. Oh, you mean the display? Okay. Yeah, my Photoshop crashed. My Photoshop got destroyed. Who's oh yang? Weeping Jay. That's sweet. Twitch Prime. Thanks, man. Thank you very much. I want the warm up. Thank you for the raid. Oh yeah. This is interesting, weird behavior. It's all about applying the knowledge, right? Kirill, yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of companies, I know the reasoning behind why you need to do art tests. Or I actually don't. This is not a standard, but we do art tests as well at the studio. We when there is doubt, when there is doubt about the artist's abilities to act to act in a specific way, right? What I mean about that is if you're going to employ someone, and you do a lot of production art, for example, and let's say in our instance, maybe we have a lot of let's say fantasy art clients, and the great artist has a lot of sci-fi and let's say not very production heavy looking art. So what we do then is like, oh, would you mind doing an art test to see how far you can bend, you know? So it's not, in our instance, like it's not to just do it for the sake of doing it, just to make life harder for the artist or anything like that, you know. But it's more like we need to check the artist if the artist can do what we need it to do. So usually what happens is when we set up an art test, it has a specific set of parameters that the artist got to do to see unaided, because we're not going to give them feedback, right? We're not going to art direct them. They will art direct themselves. So we see how they decide to solve the task. So you can see how their raw skill set is, right? And with that in mind, also when we see what they do with the results, you know, what they've done with the result or with the task, we also try to extrapolate. Okay, this is what they did unchecked, right? They control their own artistic decisions. How well would they do with art direction? You know, would they do better? Would they do worse? And then we also see how far they do design variations. You know, do they just show one picture even though we ask them to do a couple of sketches and then pick one? So in a way it's a bit, you know, it's a bit shitty of an artist who has to do an art test. You know, it's a little bit of a hit on the ego, right? Like, oh wow, you know, like in Kirill's situation, it's his fourth company, right? He worked for a fourth company, and he's not a beginner. But you know, it could easily be this mentality of like, why do I need to prove myself again? But in our instance, is mostly to see to erase doubt. You know. Hey Brandon, how's it going? It's not holiday again, no. Does it say that on the stream title? Let me check. Oh, it does. Cheers. Corrected. Yeah, so Hey, Jacob Mobley. Well, it's like you hit the nerve. I don't know. I haven't read what's been written, but I try not to comment. Really, I mean, you guys are all grown-ups. You can sort yourself out. But as you brought it up, I think you could have dealt with that a bit smoother. Personally, but that's personal. I think also Invis is a grown up and can stand up for himself as well. Kirill, yeah, exactly. Um, it's a bit shitty to do an artist, but it's important for the studios to see, if you can fit the style. So usually that happens with artists that only do a certain thing or only showcasing a certain thing, and the idea is to just see what they can do. So a lot of times when you hire a more senior artist, they have a wider spectrum. They are able to bend a bit, or they have done that kind of work before, so you can see, oh, okay, this artist, the senior artist, knows what they're doing. There's no like worry about will they be able to understand how far they can adjust their style to the client we need them for or her for. So whenever there is an artist, it's always to just have a temperature check of how well you fit. So I mean, there's a lot. Of course, there's always rules to the exception, but in my experience, it's never with a like nefarious outset of why they make you do an artist, like haha, free work. But I've also heard about that from other artists doing artists for other companies, that they actually go haha, free work. So like in this graphics, you did nothing wrong in that sense. The Discord, my Discord, our Discord is to triggers. What's it called? Triggers are free in terms of feedback. If you want to write feedback to someone, go ahead and write feedback, and you shouldn't feel held back by it. Then you can argue constructively about the feedback or the point, or it's all good. If we're all grown-ups, it should be resolved like grown-ups. And all that. I have faith in you guys. In you guys and girls. Yeah, so I mean, we are currently putting artists through artists at the moment, hiring artists, but usually it's because they are somewhat new, like they're fresh from school and so on, or they've just had very small experience, and we currently need to fill certain positions in of certain live contracts. And for example, in one instance now we're looking for a character artist, and we had one person apply that would fit that part, but that artist is a little bit of a generalist. So what we did ask that artist to do was like, okay, here's a brief of, let's say, a boss character. These are the premises. Please design a boss character start to finish, so we see how that artist thinks, right? If we would give them the live client in that way. Hey Kliska, how's it going? But we don't, first of all, we don't divulge information about live clients, so we never. Hey, ASMR. Brandon, I don't know, I don't do that on the website, but I think so, probably. But yeah, so where was I? We don't divulge information, so we don't, obviously we can't say, oh yeah, by the way, do a sci-fi character like Dead Space 5. I'm not saying we're doing Dead Space 5, by the way. I think that IP is dead, actually. But yeah, so regardless, you know, like we can't say do a boss character for Dead Space 5, and then when they've done the art test, and if it's good, like, oh yeah, by the way, devs of Dead Space 5, here's a boss character we did. You know, that's pretty fucked up. But like I said, I've heard other artists being exposed to that from other game studios that does art tests. That they ask for an art test for a live client, but maybe they don't say what game it is or the parameters that will divulge the IP, or maybe they do, I don't know. But I've heard that some studios have done that, and to me, if I would be a client, a paying client to that company that does that, and they divulge the information, which is under NDA, I would not be a client anymore. And I can't see how that is okay in any way, you know. Brandon, oh yeah. Inside my shirt. But we do give art tests at Opus when there's doubt. You know, usually when you're not a senior and you're just an artist that's specified, like, or you have a very specific genre you only work in, that's great that you do, but it's not great for us as Opus Arts. It's great to have an expertise, absolutely. It's great that you draw one thing really, really well. But at Opus in particular, we do so many different styles and so many different genres that you need to be able to be dynamic. And certain studios, let's say, out of the blue, studio that works on, let's say, Call of Duty, you don't need to be able to do fantasy, because you know the coming 4 years you're gonna do modern military stuff and war, and that's what you got to be really, really good at. So that's kind of the whole comment of customize your portfolio to where you're applying your job. plays a huge part, because you could eliminate art tests that way. Second base. Oh yeah. You know. And also, one thing that a lot of people forget to talk about when you customize your portfolio, customize your portfolio to the position as well.
I feel like I should say something smart.
Oh shit, so much monster. Man, you're rating me at the last 2.5 minutes. Oh, Jesus. How's it going, Joe? For those who don't know, So Much Monsters, fantastic guy. Click his name in the chat there, and then you'll get a little business card. Then you hit follow. Caress that follow button and follow Joe. He deserves to be followed. He's probably the coolest guy on Twitch. Miguel, yeah, exactly. I mean, I wouldn't be against to do an art test if it's a generic art test, an open-ended art test that I myself can use outside of the art test. So if it's generic and is non-specific, and if you do an art test, you just put it in your portfolio if you don't get hired, because the company shouldn't. If the company asks you to sign an NDA for your art test, big warning flag that they will use it for a client. Hey, who man bean? What up? So today, I do a half an hour stream every day. So this is the very last minutes of the stream, and today I decided to do a. We do every Monday. We do a study, which is that reference. This is the Monday study. So if you type 'ref, you'll get the reference if you want to do the study. But I also applied the same knowledge and broke down the information in the reference and applied it to imaginative drawing, right? So it's about like implementing knowledge, practicing your skills, understanding. Invis, yeah, it's a good one. Zeal in here in the chat, Zealin64 does that almost to every study Monday on Discord. It's a really good way to do it. I used to do it with anatomy, looking at anatomy and drawing my own drawing. So I would look at a reference and extrapolate the information, obviously the reference not being in the same pose, but I would see the definitions and I would in my mind rotate or morph or apply it where in my drawing where it would make sense. And another great study is you look at reference in the same way. You look at reference of a person standing or dancing, and in your mind you turn the camera on a different angle and you draw the same person in the reference dancing but seen from another point of view. And you don't copy the reference, but you copy the pose and you rotate the pose in your mind. So you gotta like break down the body, break down the rotations of the limbs and torso, and then rotate the camera and draw it from another point of view on your drawing, but do the exact same pose but different angle, and then you do it again from a different angle, and then again from a different angle, and your brain is going to break. But you add so much knowledge that way because you have to look at overlapping lines. If the photo reference is like that forward, right, they're dancing with the arm forward, but you're going to have to draw it from that way then you have to look at the angle of the elbow, the overlap of the muscles, like where the wrist is bent like that. How does that look from that angle? And you know, it's like, oh, but it's really, really helpful. It makes you really have to force feed yourself anatomy. It's like, I don't want anymore. Eat it. Eat that anatomy knowledge. Hey, Alessandra, Patria, how's it going? So the stream is over. Oh, cheers, Jacob. I had experienced the Photoshop crash, so I had to try to fix it. That's what you eat, just anatomy. That could, by the way, be interpreted completely wrong. Eat my anatomy. So it was a fun little study of extrapolating the information in the reference and applying it to imaginary work. Stream is over, sadly, so let's raid someone. Let's see if I have anyone on my list doing something. Oh, cool. All right, we're gonna raid Warmix. Warmix is painting something tasty. Thanks everyone for joining. Joe, thank you very much for that sweet raid. Thanks Tormod for the prime, and who was that second one? Dame Deviant for the bits, Tormod for the prime, and there was one more prime. Weeping Jay. Juicy prime. Right. Everyone, welcome back. Tomorrow morning at the same time, minus 30 minutes from Joe's stream. Thank you very much for the raid again, Joe. You are the boss of Twitch. So as per usual, I'm gonna switch to the outro, and after the outro, take us to the raid. So don't go anywhere. Hang tight. Good night if you're that part of the world. Have a great day if you're in this part of the world. Tomorrow is another day. Bye.